Through the interview process, we learned what data items were relevant to the current business needs. One additional perspective that we need to take is to understand how the organization will treat historical data. Often, this will require a separate data item to store the historical value separate from the current value. Here's 2 examples of what this means from the Two Trees Olive Oil Company. The first deals with storing prices. Typically, we would keep track of the current price of a product in the record for each product. But when a customer purchases a product, we might also want to keep track of the purchase price at the time of the transaction. We can do this by copying the current price into the line items table. Now, if our pricing changes in the products table, it won't affect the total price on our old invoices. Solving the problem created a new data item that we need to add to our growing list. In this case, I've called it purchase price. The second example deals with the problem of having outdated records in the database. Here, we want to determine what to do with products that are no longer available or are discontinued. For instance, if the basil-infused oil is no longer getting produced. If we delete the item from the database, then we would lose all of their associated information if we were to try and review past invoices, such as the old manufacturer. It's probably a good thing to keep unavailable products around in the database, but we'll need a way to be able to separate them from the current product offering. One way is to add an additional field called status and keep track of whether a product is active or discontinued. Now we have an additional data item, status, to add to our field list, as well as a new business rule that states that a product with a status of discontinued cannot be ordered. Those are just 2 examples of how you can think about historical data requirements when identifying your data items. When you start considering your own database needs, make sure that you take this perspective into account and add these data items and any newly discovered business rules to your notes.